Have you ever gone to a music store and you've seen a piece of gear that you really like, but you don't know if it's worth buying or not? Now, for me, one of the best examples is this thing over here. Now, this is an Akai MPK 2 Mini. It is a Midi controller. Now, I've had two of these in the past. I've had a 49 key one made by Elisis and an old school Eddie Roll Midi keyboard as well. And I got rid of both of them because I couldn't get them to work properly, and not only that, but it did not suit my needs. But I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, know how to use my software a bit better, so maybe it might be a case that this could do me good. Now, specifically with the projects I'm working on at the moment, I'm doing a lot of backtracks for churches, and having a MIDI keyboard might be really useful to have. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. Simply, MIDI, is it worth it? But wait, you might ask, what is MIDI? Well, according to a Google search, MIDI is a woman's calf length. This might be the wrong definition. Let's try that again. MIDI is a technical standard that describes the communications protocols of a digital interface and electronic connectors that connect a wide variety of electronical musical equipment and instruments and computer-related audio devices. Now, if you didn't understand what that meant, don't worry, neither did I. I'm just going to quickly show you how it works. You get something called a Midi controller, and this is not a keyboard. You can't plug this into a sound disk and play off it like that. The only thing you can plug in is a USB cable and sustain pedal, which is a nice feature to have. But how this works is this relays a signal via USB to your computer, and then you can play things through a virtual instrument and control the sound that way. Like this. Alright, so this is probably one of the best MIDI controllers that I've ever used for a couple of reasons. This really nifty arpeggiator button, and what happens is you can play and it'll repeat the note, but what you do is you tap the tempo and it'll go boom, 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 which is really awesome. A couple of other things is these pads are incredible because you can set them up to run drum stuff. And you can even set them to run loops. Another thing about it is the build quality is incredible. Up here, this USB port is solid. Now, I've had on my Q49, for example, the MIDI USB was in a very bad condition from the previous owner, and so I'd have to wiggle it. It's also got the sustain, which I really like. It's made out of a good plastic. Now, one of the things I really like is if I was somebody traveling a lot and I always had creative ideas and I wanted to try different things, all I would have to take with me would be this. My laptop, a USB cable, and that. And the best thing is how it fits into my bag. So my laptop would go in here, headphones, and that. And then I'd be able to take that with me and go off. Another very cool thing about this is the world of possibilities that you can get, because remember, this thing isn't dedicated to one sound, but it can have so many different sounds. Now, especially for me, who is an analog musician, I play guitar, I play bass, I play drums, MIDI has given me the option of trying different things, and I've been playing around a lot with that. I haven't been in the studio as much for certain reasons, and I've been able to jam and make some music now. So I think there are a lot of positives, and I'm really starting to think that this might be worth it. But it's not perfect. So I have been at war with this device over the last couple of days. As brilliant as the MPK 2 is, it is not a faultless piece of gear. Now, one of my biggest problems came from the predecessor of this. This is the Mark II Mini. Now, the Mark I Mini picked up in PreSonus without a problem. It thought that was this, and there's a slight difference. There are not as many dials on the Mark 1, and it didn't really pick up these pads either. And I went on the website, I typed in Akai MPK Mini, and I downloaded the wrong drivers, and I spent the next day and a half trying to figure out why it wasn't working. I got the right drivers eventually, and then it kind of worked. But seriously, like, that's not cool. Yes, it's my fault for not checking 100%, but if it's so easy to do that, maybe that's not great. Secondly is working the control surface on this. So if you go, which I've just actually learned from shooting this video and playing around now, not when I've been working on this thing, but you press that and then you hold that and then it tells you what program you are. Now there's a piece of software that came with it called Akai Professional, and with Akai Professional I was trying to set it and make it work, but for some reason I would send profiles and it wouldn't save, and it would reverse everything I've done. Now this key that it starts on here, you see this is backwards, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now especially when you're using on Impact XT, which is the pad software for PreSonus, while using that I found this to be incredibly irritating, because if this is C2 here, this would be in the top left corner, not the bottom right corner. So I've had to figure out this thing backwards, which has been a pain in the butt. Another massive irritation is this. Now I don't know if you picked that up, I'll do it again. Now this thing is solid build quality, it's made with good plastics. The keys are small MIDI keys, it's not sitting square. Now this thing is brand new as well. And like if you look here, for example, I don't know if, now if you look here, I don't know if you can see it here, but there's like a little bit of looseness there. And I don't know, maybe just pads are like that. Another really irritating thing is that it doesn't have a volume knob. It's got knobs, it's got these 4 dials, and I think, like an idiot, I've just realized that maybe these are for each pad. But it doesn't have a volume thing for the entire keyboard, which I think is incredibly stupid. Other than that, these are only minor issues with it, but they've been very irritating, especially the lack of a volume knob. So, Spoinkies, what do we think about this? Is this a yes or a no? Well, to be perfectly honest, there are a lot of positives, and I think the negatives are definitely outweighed by the positives, but I'm not 100% sure, so I reckon a couple more days of playing around with this and I'll have a definite answer. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also the bell next to it, which does something magical. I don't know. But thanks so much for watching, and we'll be able to catch you for another episode coming out on Monday. Now, if you want to know what it's about, it's got to do with Instagram. So that's all I can tell you. But yeah, cool, bye.